The Old Village Westerholt and its History, a presentation by Max, Angeli, Amina, Nicoletta with the help of Johanna. If you happen to be in Herten, one of its beauties was and will always remain Old Westerholt. Coming from Bahnhofstrasse, bringing all the noise with you and some stress, one could never imagine what a beautiful small tiny village hides behind it. The half-timbered houses keeping so much history behind it, the tiny streets which allow no car disturbing their existence, the ruins of an old chapel which was destroyed by fire, the sound of the church bells inviting you to another world, a world without worries, and of course the castle. The village has more than 60 half-timbered houses, all made in the early 13th century. Even its name, Westerholt, brings its own history. The name has its origin from Holz im Westen, wooden in the west, wooden being used for forest. The first notation about the freedom of this part is to be found in the church St. Martinus in 1310. That is a long time ago. Actually, the first mentioning of the name Westerholt goes to 1047, a long time ago, a long history including bad and good times. If one wants to get a particular feeling, just visit the water castle built in the 19th century and renovated in 1993. You can feel the romanticism and taste of delicious meals offered by the restaurant and even play golf. It is also said that a young girl found her end in the cellar of her house, being pushed of witchcraft. The green Ruhr area around Westerholt. After visiting the village of Westerholt, it is recommended to take a detour to Herten. The Herten Water Castle and its large park can be reached on foot or by bike. The Lüttinghof Water Castle in Gelsenkirchen is also not far away. Why don't you visit the Bartenbrock pile with tetradrachms in Bottrop? Liberty was recovery. In 1421, in addition to Westerholt Castle, the freedom enjoyed by the emperor was also mentioned for the first time. A few years later, Westerholt counted 34 homesteads. Each homestead includes houses, courtyards, gardens, and sometimes some ancillary buildings, such as a bakery, a blacksmith shop, or a workshop. In the past and now, the picturesque half-timbered houses were crowded on the winding narrow streets. Witches in Westerholt look back on an eventful past. They have survived many a fire and survived many war seeks. Also, dramatic life stories have sometimes taken place in the old village of Westerholt, considering that the inhabitants of a freedom in historical sources are often referred to as inmates and can thus also be regarded as an extended servants of the castle house. Beginning of the 18th century, when superstition also culminated in the village of Westerholt, the young widow Anna Spiekermann was made the cruel trial as witch-smell. Anna Spiekermann was a widow that got accused to be a witch as revenge from a man called Johannes Krampe. He said that she bewitched him with being impotent, even though he had already talked to doctors about it. On a hunt through the village, Johannes Krampe and 20 other men that were part of Bachelors of Westerholt's freedom hid her till that in her body there was nothing that was more healed, until she said that she did something to him. According to text, when she got arrested a little later, she took that comment back. At the 19th of April 1705, she was at the Court of Justice, and even though neighbors or family members didn't say anything negative about her, they were sure that she had to be a witch. One thing that was bad for her was that her grandmother was thrown to the water as a witch test, and that her family had a bad name after that. She said again that she did something to him, but after she got tortured in her chamber, she took that back. At the 7th January 1706, she got judged to the death by the sword for partly confessed witchcraft, partly convinced witchcraft. She died in front of 700 people that were from neighbor places, just for the Earl to show off his jurisdiction. Anna was the last victim of witchcraft. By the time she was only 36 years old. What you see here are some spots from the golf places of the old Westerholt castle. We thank you very much for your time and we hope you like our little village.